I'm sure you know about the Volvo Group and that I am a very big fan of it. They own brands such as Volvo themselves, Geely, Lynk Co, Zeekr, Lotus, among others. And I'm sure that you also know that I've been daily driving a Geely Coolray Sport for over a year now, and so far I am very happy with it. But in today's video, let's explore a car from their premium brand, Lynk Co. In particular, this is one of their first vehicles, the Lynk Co 01 plug-in hybrid. In today's video, let's see if this car is any good and if it is any better than a Geely or any worse than the Volvos. Now let's first explore the Lynk Co 01 from its exterior, right? And from the front end, it really is a very unique looking vehicle. While looks can be subjective and some people might think that it looks a little bit froggish, just like a Nissan Juke, personally I like it, although I do not like the look of the Nissan Juke. Now, I really love these Aurora Borealis DRLs, this is what Lynk Co calls it, right? And what I really love about these DRLs is that you have these like two mounds on either side of the hood. As you're driving along, you can see them, especially when you turn on your turn signals, these illuminate and you can see them just like what you would get in a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. Now, if you look a little bit below that, there are these LED headlamps, very bright too. Now, when you get on over towards the side of the vehicle, this is where I want to tell you a little bit more about this car. Now, what you have to know about this is that it uses the Volvo compact modular architecture, meaning it shares the exact same chassis and powertrain as the Volvo XC40 T5 plug-in hybrid. But it is a little bit longer, not only in length, but also in wheelbase. So this is a slightly larger car overall, yet you're practically getting a Volvo XC40. Anyway, design cues here on the side, you get these nice large 20-inch two-tone rims. And if you see, there's a sticker here, right, that has like a plug on it. That's because, remember, this is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So if you press on the key fob twice, this one pops out wherein you can charge this vehicle using a Type 2 or a CCS2 plug, which can give you a pure electric range of up to 69 kilometers, which is more than enough for your daily NCR trip. Unlike the front Aurora Borealis LED DRLs, Lynk Co decided to play it a little bit more safe here at the back. So there's not much things that are too noteworthy aside from what they call the Energy Cube LED tail lamps and the dual exhaust by the bottom. Now, what I really love here is the lettering of Lynk Co. It just looks really refined. Now, as you open up this tailgate, which is powered by the way, you will reveal 466 liters of space. Now, we put a lot of clutter here for you to visualize what 466 liters is, but all you have to know is that that is also slightly larger than what you would get with the Volvo XC40. Now, for the powertrain, what you have here is the exact same engine that you would get with the Volvo XC40 T5 PHEV. This is a 1.5 liter turbocharged gasoline engine mated to that plug-in hybrid electric system, making a total combined output of 262 horsepower and 265 Newton meters of torque, paired to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Now, for fuel economy, you can return about 8.8 kilometers per liter in the city, and this is with barely any battery juice left. And on the highway, you can do 17.2 kilometers per liter. If you have those batteries charged up, obviously the sky is the limit technically in terms of fuel economy, right? So yeah, if you want to improve your fuel economy, just charge up that battery and you can go up to 69 kilometers on that single charge. Moving inside the Lynk Co 01, first we check the door. And that sounds really good. Now, inside here, we have to once again go for the Volvo thing, right? And does it feel like a Volvo XC40? Yes, it does. I mean, every single material and panel you touch in here is really good. Build quality and material choice is excellent. So the steering wheel gets some soft leather on it. It's pretty thin though, admittedly, but there is blue stitching on it, and you can also tilt and telescope this steering wheel and it moves pretty far back too. If you look at the dashboard, there's also a lot of nice materials on it. It's also pretty soft. There's this like somewhat cloth material by the center too. I've never really encountered a material like this in any other vehicle. Moving on towards the side, there's also a lot of soft materials. And the seats, now this is where it really feels very Volvo-like. So these seats, not only are they very ergonomic feeling, right, but they are not leather, surprisingly, in a premium vehicle. They are made out of cloth. Just like a Volvo XC40, they are made out of recycled materials, and you can really feel that it feels like a Volvo. And they are also power adjustable for the driver's side with memory functions too. Now, extra Volvo-ness, okay, if you look at the passenger seat, it's not power operated, which is honestly a bummer, but even The recline function is very European. It has that ratchet thing that you have to keep turning to precisely adjust it to the exact recline that you want. Admittedly, again, it is a little bit harder to adjust, but you can easily find the perfect position for you. One that usually you cannot find with those pull and just move around kind of system. Now, for your screens in here, you do have a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, which is super easy to read, super crisp as well. And towards the center is a massive 12.7-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a super clear 360-degree top-down view camera, and even a 360-degree view not top-down camera, just a regular 360 camera. This is also super easy to use, extremely responsive tool, and honestly, every single manufacturer should be using a screen like this. Also, what every other manufacturer should be doing is giving us buttons and knobs in their cars that are easy to use. I get it. There's a lot of manufacturers who say, oh, we want it to look minimalist, but Lynk Co was able to still give you buttons and knobs and switches while remaining minimalist. For example, here on the driver's side, if you press the button, it's gonna turn on your sync function for your AC. But if you twist it, that's gonna adjust your temperature. Now, here on the other side though, you have yet another knob. Now, if you press it once, this adjusts your fan speed. Press it again, and that will adjust the temperature for the passenger side. See, they're using very minimal buttons, yet it is super functional. They are really making do with what they can put here while still keeping the aesthetics of it. Also, if you turn it, attention to detail right here, if you turn it colder, the backlight turns blue, and if you turn it hotter, the background turns red. That is just, I don't know, it just is super cool. Now, there is this electronic shifter here by the center, but I'll talk more about that later on in the driving segment. I'm not a big fan of it, and again, you'll see why later on. You have a wireless charging pad too, you have an electronic parking brake, and you have drive modes, which includes pure EV mode, hybrid mode, as well as power mode. Power mode is for when you want to conserve your battery, especially when you are driving on the highway. Now, other features here include advanced driver assistance systems, and I talk about the whole suite here. You have your adaptive cruise control, your traffic jam assist, lane keeping assist, lane departure warning. You also have autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection. The whole thing is here. The whole suite is here. You even get a 10-speaker Harman Infinity audio system, which sounds really good, and the aforementioned panoramic sunroof on the top. And now for the rear seats. First, we check the door. That sounds really good. Okay, when you're here at the back, there is a lot of room. I am only 5'6" short, sure, but like, look at the amount of leg room I have here. This is almost a foot. Okay, maybe not. Maybe like 9 or 10 inches or so. All I'm trying to say is it is really good. Even the feet room, you can really stretch out in here, put your feet under that front seat. And headroom is also pretty good despite having this panoramic sunroof on the top. Now, things I really like about the back, first of all, would be the seats, right? They are super comfortable, also very ergonomic, just like the front. And thigh support truly is excellent. You also get that same blue color scheme on it. And you even get some of the front seats blue textured things here at the back of their seats. Now, you also get these like very high quality feeling map pockets. They feel very sturdy. There's even a Lynk Co emblem over here. You get your own air vent. You have a USB-C port, a USB-A port, and also a pretty sturdy feeling center armrest. Now, what I'm not a big fan of is just like hump here at the back of the seat, which is pretty weird. I think it's like the butt equivalent of a lumbar support. Does it feel comfortable? I guess, but yeah. Anyway, seating 3 people here at the back abreast, not really the most comfortable, but it is doable for shorter trips. Now we drive the Lynk Co 01 plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Okay, let's start off with its pure hybrid mode. And in this mode, obviously it is super quiet because you are running on electricity alone. And even if you keep this in its pure hybrid mode, it has lots of torque, it has lots of power to keep you going. You will never really find yourself wanting any more power. You never really find yourself wanting the engine to help the electric motor give you a little bit more power. No, you really don't need it. It is more than enough. When you put this car into its normal mode, be it the hybrid mode or the power mode, it is incredibly smooth. I mean, you really feel like you're driving an XC40 in every single way, from the smoothness to the power delivery to the refinement that it gives you. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but pretty damn close. So first of all, the power, right? In this hybrid mode, It's excellent, it's responsive, it comes on immediately, and it's also pretty explosive given that you do have that electric powertrain giving you instant torque. At the same time, the 7-speed dual clutch transmission is also pretty quick. Now, next would be the handling. I mean, these crossovers, they handle pretty well, but this one, it's a little bit better than most. I wouldn't say it's the best handling car in this price range, no, but it is more than enough for your daily drives when you do have a couple of bends that you want to push it through. Body roll is kept pretty controlled, and even the steering, it gives you decent enough feedback to not feel scary around those fast bends. Let's talk about its noise, vibration, and harshness suppression. In terms of noise, it is whisper quiet in here. You can be going way past the legal limit and it will still feel as quiet as driving the minimum speed limit on the highway. Meaning, if for example you're driving 120 on a private road, you feel like you're just driving like 70 or 80. It really doesn't feel fast at all. Tire noise is subdued, and so is wind noise. It really is good. For harshness, it's definitely on the firm side of things, which means that if you get car sick easily, you will not get car sick with this, but maybe yes, it could use a little bit more softness to battle the roads of Metro Manila. In terms of advanced driver assistance systems too, it really is also pretty similar to the Volvo XC40, which obviously is a great thing. It's super smooth. It can easily detect cars that cut in. And what I like about this is in a lot of these Chinese vehicles, right, or Chinese, Swedish vehicles, whatever, when the car in front of you slows down, it gives you a very abrupt braking feel, one that will jerk you forward. But this one, it can detect from, I don't know, far away, and it can easily plan the braking for you. That way, your adaptive cruise control braking is smooth and just calm. It feels as if you're just braking the car. And also the automatic turning, the lane keeping assist, the lane departure warning, it all just works pretty smoothly. Now in your daily drives, I really recommend that you keep this car in its regular hybrid mode, because that way you can just let the car do whatever it thinks it's best to conserve fuel economy, right? And if it is in hybrid mode, it just, again, seamlessly just goes between your electric powertrain as well as your ICE, your gasoline engine, and you really don't feel any of it. And driving this inside the city too, the steering, it's light enough, but it's not too light to the point that it feels like you're driving a toy car. It really is just, it just feels refined. It feels like a proper European vehicle. Honestly, if anything, this feels much less of a Chinese car and more of a Euro car. If you've driven a Volvo in the past, drive this, cover the logo, it's hard to say that this is not a Volvo too. It is that good. Now, no car is perfect, right? So this one isn't either. There's just one very, very annoying thing I find with it, and it's the gear selector here by the center. In most cars with these electronic shifters, once you're from park or from reverse, there's a way to just pull it down. That way, it's gonna go straight to drive and past neutral in just one swooping maneuver. But for this one, you do have to make like a double pull to get it out of reverse or park into drive. You have to go into neutral first and then drive. Slightly annoying. Deal breaker, definitely not. Given that the Lynk Co 01 plug-in hybrid is super impressive, practically feels like a Volvo, and is so much better than a Geely, you might expect that it will cost a lot of money, right? You will expect it to cost pretty close to a Volvo XC40. Well, no. You see, this car right beside me, the Lynk Co 01 plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, only costs 2,338,000 pesos. And it is an extremely well-packaged vehicle. It's ridiculously comfortable, it has tons of power, it looks extremely unique on the road, and it is also super refined. Now, in the start of this video, we asked two questions. Is it better than a Geely? Yes, absolutely so. It feels much better than a Geely, but it still has all the DNA that I love about Geelys. It's super refined and all that. It doesn't even feel Chinese because, after all, this is a Chinese Swedish brand. Now, the second question, is it worse than a Volvo? Well, I've driven the Volvo XC40s in the past and it feels super similar to a Volvo XC40. So to answer that question, no, it is not worse than a Volvo, and yet it costs less than half the price of a Volvo XC40. So if you ask me, is this car a good buy? I think it is an excellent buy and a car for anyone to consider.